Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Alphazondeck podcast. This episode, we have our lovely co-host Pengu back.
I'm back. They let me back.
They let you back. They let you back.
I didn't do too badly. They let me back.
They let you back. And if you want to introduce our guest for the evening,
Of course. So, our guest for the evening is, I would say, a friend, right? Because we're
Hey.
usually on real late together in where are we? In OG Alpha's voice chat always. This is Bruddah. He's one of the usual suspects on there.
Hey.
So, Bruddah.
Hey.
hello, Bretta Joe. If you want to introduce yourself real quick and just let us know who you are and kind of how'd you end up here?
Oh, I have no idea. So, Brother Joe, you can call me Joe, you can call me Brother. It works either way. Um, really, uh, I'm like an alpha and I like hanging out with other alphas. I'm on the OG Alpha server most times hanging out, and it's not all about XG all the time. A lot of us like different things in K-pop, and we discuss it every night and we watch videos together. And Um, we're kind of the group that meets all night. We've kind of dubbed ourselves the usual suspects because any given night you could look down in there and that's where we are. We're hanging out, we're talking, and that's what we do.
Cool. But you're pretty new to K-pop, right? You kind of got into it relatively recently, compared to most people who have been in K-pop for some time. Is that true?
Yeah, I started my okay. The long story of it is my wife started listening to K-pop in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and she was annoying the heck out of me. And I
I
didn't.
didn't think it was that not that long ago. I thought your wife especially had been a K-pop fan for a long time.
No, no. My wife's always been into like pop music and boy bands and like like NSYNC and New Kids on the Block and things like
Hmm.
that. She's always fanned, especially New Kids on the Block. But so in around 2019, I was always like against it. I had heard some kind of negative things about K-pop, but it was probably more my ignorance more than anything else. And I told myself, I can't really just judge. I have to understand it. And so I went on this dive. Um, and then on my journey, I kind of discovered a different female group, not XG. It was Blackpink.
Oh.
And
Blackpink in your area.
yeah, Blackpink in your area. And I became a Blink. Like they were just the right sound to draw me into K-pop. Where I'm not always drawn to like bubblegum pop kind of sound and the really girly stuff. And Blackpink was like, I can listen to a lot of it now. But I think a lot of me starting to listen to K-pop was definitely their
Cool.
like girl crush. It was really
Nice.
cool.
So, what did you listen to before K-pop? Because you said that like, hey, it was I don't know if K-pop's for me. I don't know if I understand or not. But so, what did you listen to before?
Um, Mostly I listened to a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
pop music. When I was younger, I listened to a lot of hip hop, a lot of R&B. Um, Somewhere along the way, I started listening to country because I realized some of the artists are really good storytellers. They
Mm-hmm.
just funny stories. If you ever listen to it and you're
Yeah.
drinking, it just kind of fits for some reason.
I
And
know
then
country music. It would that what's that song where like this woman is smashing the windows of someone's car? I
Carrie
bet you
Underwood.
that.
Carrie
Yes,
Underwood.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
There's
Before he
that.
cheats.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a good song. It's a good song.
and have you ever heard the song The Auction?
I
I
don't
have
think I have.
not.
It's just this fast talking song where it's this guy, I'm going once, I'm going twice, I'm sold to the girl and da. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, country's funny because like when I was younger, I was like, I hate country. I'm never gonna listen to it. And then as I got older, and we had kids. My wife and I had kids, and I was like, well, I can't really listen to like hip hop all the time around them, because it's not. I don't want them saying bad things in front of like strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of realized, my wife listened to
What, you
country.
don't want them singing WAP in real
No,
life?
right? You know, and then
Flop, flop, flop.
Oh
That song.
wow, wow, right? And then, so my wife was like, "You should listen to Guys in Country because they all talk about drinking, girls, and breakups." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's pretty
What
much
is she trying to
the truth."
say?
The music relates. It's kind of hip hop and inside too. It's yeah, it's a lot of good times and breakups and everything. Uh, and then somewhere along the way, I just stopped listening to radio altogether. I just was not interested with what the pop market was here. Um, and then I started, that's when I started listening to a lot of electro pop and got in, I was listening to Jaiwolf and Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
So I was listening to a lot of like EDM. Uh, and then I don't know, I somehow fell into K-pop. And then ever since then, I was like, K-pop's it. They have this weird blend of like everything that I've liked in the past, and they do it all.
Now XG is it K-pop?
Heck yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel
I think
like
so.
it is and it isn't. It's always been that argument.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
doesn't Simon say it is like what is it? X pop or whatever?
X-pop, yeah. But I feel
Yeah.
like people think that to mean X-pop to mean like global group or whatever, which sure, but I feel like X is like like an asterisk. Like it could be anything. Like it
it's
could
like their
be
marketing brand.
yeah, it's like a
But
Yeah.
marketing brand.
And they
Um,
do like dabble in different kinds of music. Like when you listen to like X Gene, right? You're just like, is this trap? Right? And you
X
listen
Gene
to
is what's that?
drill,
Drill, yeah, drill music.
drill,
drill, yeah.
yeah.
And then you have like w- left right, and you're like, oh, this is old school R&B, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and like we have like of course the hip hop influences and everything. We've talked about this
Hmm.
like ad nauseum before, but like they take inspiration from so many different places, and it just hits right,
Yeah.
right?
What kind of hip hop were you into growing up? Because I remember having a conversation with you before, and you brought up Lauren Hill, which is also one of Cocona's, like
Oh man, yeah.
inspirations.
Um, but it was very much like West Coast hip hop for a very, very, very long time. Not that I didn't like or enjoy like other styles. Like I'll tell you, one of my favorite rappers is Andre Benjamin, like Andre 3000,
Yeah.
Mm,
like one of the hottest
yeah,
rappers of all time. You know, and he's from the South. They never got. I feel like they never got the love that they deserve. Like to this day, they like even if he gets his flowers, he still doesn't get enough love. So I mean, I'm like really old, so I listened to a lot of '90s like
Mhm.
hip hop. Just hip hop throughout the '90s, I think was special. In that
you
the
grew up in a great
styles
era,
were very,
right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. Like the varying styles, and you knew where people were from by how they rapped, and
Mhm.
like it was so different, especially for its time.
Yeah, part of our conversations at night and some of the videos that we post on in the watch party that we usually have is like I think a couple of days ago we had a whole bunch of old school hip hop, and we have a running list of karaoke songs that we need to get on when we all meet, because we're doing this, eh?
It
Right?
is,
I
yeah,
keep
for
saying
sure.
that we're all meeting in Japan, right? For the Japan leg of the world tour.
Sure,
Sure.
sure.
Hey,
Sure.
come on, we gotta do this. I'm so psyched, but like also like so frustrated that we don't have a date yet.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I guess that's a topic later.
Yeah, for sure. So you've kind of had a history. Like you got into K-pop, you got into Blackpink, you became a Blink. Oh my God, Twitter's going crazy. Um, how did you bump into XG? Like what
um,
drew you to them?
so I actually found them on but through the algorithm. Part
Oh,
of like my deep dive into K-pop was like watching a lot of reactors. I
Mhm.
guess I was looking for like validation of like, this is okay to listen to, right? Like other people like this stuff. And so I was watching a reactor, and on the day Move 1 came out, they reacted,
Oh.
and I was on literally the edge of my seat because I think one of the gripes about, or one of the things that my wife always held over my head was like girl group dancers do not have it.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't like the way that they dance. They have like this style, and it's kind of like this
It
weird version of burlesque, or like
yeah.
like
It
she
seems
just,
like held back.
yes,
I find that unfair because it takes so much to be able to coordinate yourself like that. And dancing, like those movements are actually very hard to do if you just do not have the coordination for it. And I'm
Mhm.
speaking about myself,
I
right?
I
So
no, I agree with you, but I can never make the argument to my wife because she's just, it is, that is what
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah, I know.
But when I saw them come out, they had that grit, like,
Mhm.
they reminded me of something,
Hmm.
and they had that grit, and I was like, here's a girl group that's not afraid to be like, to get ugly on the dance floor, like
Yeah.
just get dirty and really get in it and grimy, you know what I mean? And like, this is interesting, and I'm gonna keep tabs on them for as long as it takes for them to come out.
It it
And
kind
that's
of
really, was it what was.
it kind of reminds me of early BTS. So like if you go
Yes.
back and look at like how BTS like they weren't like a huge group when they like started. It actually took
Hmm.
them a really long time to get to where, they were getting bigger and bigger. But they started relatively small, and it was through like their choreos and stuff like that that people like super got into them. And then they blew
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
Um I mean obviously we haven't had that moment for XG yet, but like it's similar in aspects to like how BTS started with
I
like
think
their
it
choreo.
happened.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think it happened because like they get so much love and respect from the dance community themselves,
Mhm.
for their work ethic, and just being able to do their choreo. I think it's gonna go a long way. Like people who work with them have genuine respect for them. It feels like.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
I think the choreos are probably the best parts, like some of the best parts of like their music
Yeah,
too. Because like
for
you can't
sure.
just like listen to the song. You have to like wait for the choreo to come out. You have to wait for like the music video and then like the dance practice. Like there's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, and it's like, I love that they don't make any exceptions. Like, some people, sometimes what people say is, the choreos looks easy because they have to sing. It's like they put on the show.
Hmm.
They don't make any excuses. They put on the show.
Yeah. Uh, Speaking of Blackpink, there's always that criticism of Jenny, right? Right.
Yeah.
It's always the criticism. They always have to come out and say it, but
What
it's like
what is the criticism? Just
so
because I'm not up on that.
so there's a criticism that says that she's lazy during shows with choreo, but then she goes to Western audiences and that she goes crazy or something. Like she's actually like
Mm.
putting in effort. But I think that's also like the whole, you know, there's the Eastern dynamic to shows, and then there's the Western dynamic to shows. Because we get a little crazy, we
Hmm.
the crowd like seriously gets into it. Whereas like I feel like some of the Eastern shows, like I haven't personally been to them, so I can't like fully say anything. But I feel like they're more tame to an aspect.
You can tell the culture is different, right? Like
Yeah.
going like, um I don't know, I watched a lot of live concerts of them before I got to actually see them. Like during quarantine. Like that's, I was like, oh, let's watch this person's concert. Let's watch this person's concert, and I watched a lot of them early on, and you can see that the culture is different. Like over here, when their songs come on, people sing every single lyric,
Hmm.
right? They know all the words. They'll sing along with all their heart, and over there, it's just different. Like everybody knows the fan chant, and that in itself is like, when you hear the fan chant, like people doing the fan chants, and it's like engulfing you, like that's got to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's like
Hmm.
like everyone feels so unified, like it's got to be a cool feeling.
Yeah, I think Western culture definitely like has that you want to sing along to the actual
Right,
lyrics.
right.
Whereas like I feel like, either Korean or even Japanese, they have the fan chants to go along with the main song and to
Right.
like give the light to the artist. It's definitely a different aspect, I guess.
Kind of like let the artist sing the song,
Yeah.
but let's
Yeah.
kind of
We're
give
here
a
for
chant in the
support.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
here. We're here.
Because I think for me, when I like went through a bunch of XG stuff, that was like the biggest difference I saw was like HITC New York, the first time they ever like performed in North America, right?
Mm-hmm.
You heard the crowd sing along to every single lyric to like Shooting Star, etc.
Oh,
Like
it's
you
so
heard,
giddy. Yeah.
yeah, you heard everything. But then they go to like overseas, and then like you hear the fan chants, which is great, but it's also a different vibe completely.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know when we go together.
Yeah, there you go, to Japan, and we'll sing along,
Oh,
and then
To
everyone will look at
Japan.
us.
Yeah,
Everyone
and
will
we're
look at
gonna
us
do
like, "What are
this,
they doing?"
guys.
Chill, chill, chill. um,
Yeah. Mm.
so you have a bias.
I do.
I wonder who it is.
Let's hear it.
In my defense, I did not pick her. She picked me, which is kind of how I
That's
feel
what
how it
they
goes through
all
all groups.
say.
It is though, because like I really, when I first listened to K-pop, I really wanted to have a bias. I was like, Jenny's it. She was
Mhm.
my first bias, right? And then I quickly discovered that she's not my bias.
Oh,
And Jisoo's actually my bias, and I think for me, it's like I like to watch them act naturally, like in variety shows. Just when I see their personality,
hmm,
shine through. That's when I started to be like, it's you. It's
hmm,
definitely you. You know what I mean? Like, um, if I were to go through the same motions with like it definitely would have been Jurin first because she is it girl,
yeah,
1000%. You know what I mean? And I think she's a lot of people's biases. They just maybe not so much as Hinata, but like just it's just she has it. Like her stage presence, undeniable.
hmm,
But it was out just after watching the behind the scenes stuff, and it's like, oh, she's kind of quirky. I think it's Hinata.
yeah. Another Hinata bias.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I've had, let's see, I've had Hinata bias, Juria bias, okay,
Yay.
and then Jurin bias, and now another Hinata bias. So, episode
Yeah,
5, I've
we've
had
had
3
like
out of 4, 5.
we've had quite a bit of Hinata biases. What
Yeah,
was Nine Eyes
she was
Julia?
Juria, yeah,
Yeah.
Julia? Okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then BG was the first Jurin, which was surprising, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jurin draws people in, but
Yeah.
then everybody finds like a different bias, which I think is rude. Very rude. And I'm gonna say like all 7 of them are my bias, so like we don't get into fights about this.
Hey,
There
let's
you
see
go. There
seven.
you go.
We'll see 7 always and forever because they all had something that drew me in.
They really do. They really do.
Yeah.
It's really hard to choose a bias, but like when you have a bias, it's really for like the smallest reasons. Like it's not like something insane or like this is the only person I like sort of deal.
What
It's
is
more so
insane?
well no, like it's
Adele?
just like
What's insane?
so like if you look at other groups, which I don't want to do, but some people will have infighting between the biases, right?
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Which is I don't understand it. But like I'm also like relatively new to K-pop also. So like I guess people just want one person to have more of something here or there or like they think someone's lacking and bring the group down. Which whatever. Like I don't really care about that stuff. Um
but XG, every member brings something to the table, even if they're in like the background a little bit more. Because I would say Hinata doesn't have much of like she doesn't have as many lines, right?
mhm,
But when she's there, you're just like, if she was not there, it feels like there would be a big gaping hole,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate all of them being where they are and being there.
Yeah. I actually appreciate that they don't how like a lot of groups have like official roles, right? They have like a
Hmm.
main dancer, main
Hmm.
vocals, which main vocals make sense. but then they have like visual, right? That's a role that I could live without, honestly, because I feel like they're all should be visuals, to be honest. And they're all. I feel like actually they're all visuals anyway.
Is that a thing where
It is.
just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm out of, I guess, the three of us here, I am the least involved in K-pop. I watch it only because it's always on the channel, right? It's always in
Mm-hmm.
the watch party. And I like the music, but I don't. XG is like one of the first. It is the first K-pop group that I actually follow religiously, right? And I know stuff about them, which I'm still wrapping my head around. How did I get to this point, guys? Like, what brought me here? Oh,
I don't know,
jeez.
man.
And the visual role's always been peculiar for me too. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird. Like when I found out about it, they're like, nope, their job is literally to sit there and look good, and like as long as they look good, they're doing their job.
Yeah. No, I feel like actually doesn't. They have like rapper, main rapper, but I feel like it also switches up song to song. Juria, Chisa, obviously both are main vocals. With like Maya having like sub vocals or lead vocals sometimes. Same with Hinata having lead vocals, but it's definitely like a different vibe with XG. Like them not having like a true main dancer. Like, yes, there is like a main dancer according to some people, but they can all dance. Like,
For
they can
sure.
all dance.
They all have their own. They can all make that claim that they can
Yeah.
dance. Like they're for sure dancers.
hmm Even like that, there's that clip of like Jurin, right? Like, who can dance the best, and they all pick Jurin, and then she goes, "What do you mean? You guys are supposed to pick yourselves, right?"
Yeah,
So, yeah, for sure.
that's that competitive side of her, right? Like
Yeah. So what excites you to be a fan?
that's really good. Um, you know, I think more than anything, like my experience is just connecting with other fans.
hmm
You know, that's what excites me to be a fan. Like I love meeting someone who fans like the same groups that I do.
Have
You
you
know, it
gone to
does.
an XG event yet? Like a concert or anything?
KCON. I went to
KCON?
KCON to see them.
Oh.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I went to KCON to see them. It was all kind of like weird. So I went when they performed at the concert. I didn't go when they were on the floor, which is really weird because I originally had day 3 tickets. I was like, oh, they're gonna be on the floor day 3. That's the day I want to go. And then they made the change up when the other group backed out. And they were like, oh, they're still going to be at the concert on day 2. It's like, well, I should just go on day 2, and then I'll be able to see them in concert, which was great because I got to see the 21 mashup.
hmm
Lost my mind. Lost my mind. Um,
We've
and
talked about this where
ad
it is.
nauseum.
Yeah, it is the group that like I regret not seeing at the height of their popularity. I hope that they do go on tour again. I love you, XG, but geez, that was an era, man.
They're coming. They're coming back. They're coming back.
You keep saying this, but
No,
I've
there was
I've
actual
I've heard this
photos.
too. I've heard this too. Yeah.
there's
There's
always rumblings, and they're all lies, and I am
It's definitely going to be
hurt by
interesting if
these
they come
lies.
back. It's definitely going to be interesting if they come back
Mhm.
because they're all much older now, and like I don't think the choreos and stuff that they used to do will be the same. But they definitely got like the talent, like the vocal talent and everything still.
I feel like it's fine. If Usher can still perform the way he does, then I have 100% faith that these girls can do their choreo in like 10-inch heels.
There you go.
Absolute faith, and I think that they should do a tour around the world, and they should definitely come to where I am.
There you go.
Yep.
So speaking of getting older, XG's
Mhm.
anniversary is coming up. Pretty soon. We're about a month away from XG's anniversary. They've grown a lot in these 2 years, quite a lot. So
Their first videos, right? Like you see them from then to now. It's
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 Mm.
also a physical change. Like I actually look at the first videos and I'm just like, these are children.
Yeah.
But now like I look at like their videos now and I'm like, oh, they're kind of adults.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
they're definitely more adult like now. And it's not just like the physical appearance, it's like their demeanor too. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can
it's
tell
like
it's
how they carry themselves.
the way, like everything that's happened to them last year has kind of like changed their outlook
Hmm.
and how they
Mhm.
present themselves, and it's all kind of neat to see the personal growth.
Yeah.
And you know, you saw one of the days videos where Jurin was talking to the rest of the girls like kind of seriously inside behind the scenes, and you could see them being professionals and talking about like
Focus.
they, yeah,
Yeah.
very
Mm.
focused, how they're dancing, like the mistakes that they could be making, what they should be concentrating on, and they're all very professional about their craft, which I very much appreciate, and I enjoy seeing that side of them too.
Hmm.
What about you, brother?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I felt like that was a really good scene for me, just because like we always say Jern's the leader, but in that moment you could see the respect around the room and the focus that everybody has towards her. Like when she speaks, they're all paying attention, and they're like, she is the leader. Like she's literally the leader of the pack.
And I feel like a good leader too because she's giving a firm message, but she's
Right.
also like I'm not quite pulling rank,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
we're all in this together, so we should all be in this together, and if there's like issues then we should all bring it up together and try to tackle it together because we're a team. And I'm like I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I completely agree. I feel like the main thing was she didn't pull a rank, and then one of the things she said was, you know, if you have something to say, we'll get to you. Right?
Yeah.
She said like, I know there's like a lot of like, feedback you guys want to give, but like we'll get to it one by one. We'll tackle everything one by one. Um,
Yeah,
and it was like she didn't want to leave anyone out. She like wanted to like to mainly be kind of like someone who organizes the thoughts for people.
is good
Right.
management, and
Mhm.
I appreciate good management.
It's crazy to think, like, did Simon see this in her all along? Like, is this why she's like, did Simon always know this about her? Was this always
Oh,
We don't
present,
know.
like, in their dance room? Like, it's really interesting, like,
since I'm
you think
finally
about it.
starting to watch the documentary, remember that one part in the documentary where well, she was always picked first, right? By Simon.
For the
Like
dance
from
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like she was on top of it. Like I'm only on episode 2 or 3, so don't spoil it
Yeah,
for me,
I'm not
Daniel.
spoiling. I'm not spoiling.
So I and like she's always like even when you see her picking her teams, she's always been like I'm work focused.
Hmm.
And you can see that side of her already from the get-go, I think.
Yeah, I think
'Cause-
the episode you're talking about, episode 2, I think, where like
Mhm.
he asks her, or yeah, Simon asks every like person to like pick their team or whatever. At first, she picked like the full 5 people, but then like the next round or whatever, yeah, she dropped one person, which ended up I think being uh Hikaru, I think, because she went to like the second team. Um,
Mm.
but like she didn't pick up anyone else, which I thought was
Mm.
really interesting. Like, I feel like there's like two reasons to do that. One, you don't think anyone else is up to par because one of the things she did was she kept Hinata, who was a yellow rank. She was team C technically.
Yep.
She kept Hinata, but dropped like the higher rank person. So that must mean that she recognized who is coachable, usually, or who is like holding them back in some way that like maybe the other people can't see. Because like when you're like actually teaching someone something, it's actually very important that they're coachable.
Mm. And I remember watching because we didn't we talk about a lot of dance shows like So you think you can dance, and America's
Yeah.
Best Dance Crew, right? And I think one of the things that have been said or has been like shown in those shows is that it's not quite. It is like you need people who are coachable, but it's also you need someone who dances about the same as you.
Mhm.
You can't have anybody who's drastically different, because then you can immediately see, okay, that person is they're not on the same wavelength as us, right? I need
Right.
someone who is as good as us, not worse than us, but not so much better that it becomes so like it's an eyesore.
Mhm.
Because someone who can pop and lock very nicely, but everybody else is like about the same, you can tell, and it detracts from the harmony of the group, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think Jurin looked and was like, in the dance, she was like, okay, these people, they are, they were all about equal
Mhm.
in how they could dance and how much, I guess, like potential they have at that moment that she was looking on. So I'm always going to back Jurin on her decisions.
Who is that? Who
uh,
who was that foursome that it ended up being? It was Jiren,
The
Hinata,
four,
Cocona?
yeah, it was XG members.
yeah,
Okay.
Jurin,
Yeah.
Kokona, Hinata.
Team
Who else?
A and Team C were all final XG members.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's how it
That
ended
also
up.
blew my mind.
Yeah, it was
So
insane.
much respect for like not giving up
Hmm.
um and just taking it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So going back to XG anniversary, what are you guys gonna do for XG's anniversary? We got like any plans or any community events that you guys know about? I know we're all kind of scatter across North America, so hard to do stuff in person. But I'm sure there's something, right?
If there's no like actual event, like a cup sleeve event or something at my local boba shop or whatever, I'm probably gonna be hanging out with Alphas online and watching videos and wondering when we're gonna get concert dates.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing. We're just sitting here
we're just,
waiting for concert dates
we're just
and
like
hoping.
helping the Alphaz app updates like every 3 seconds.
I know, and we're all like hoping that it's like the anniversary where they drop those concert dates,
Hmm.
but like what the hell? And if that happens, yes, I'm gonna be like just like Bruddah, I'm gonna be on as the usual suspects. We're gonna be on the voice chat talking about it and probably watching a lot of XG videos. Um, I don't have much of. I feel like I don't have much of a community up here, but I'm in like a cold wasteland, the cold wasteland named Canada. So I'm not like LA where I feel like there's like a vast majority of
This is not
OGAs
true.
there.
I'm
Nope.
in LA and there are not a lot of Alphas. Or they don't out
Boo.
themselves. They don't
Yeah.
openly out themselves the way I do. Like I wear my hoodie when I go. I like have all my XG stuff with me and
Oh, my hoodies
um
and my stuff they're all in Japan right now. I'm I
it's okay. You
I
could pick that up in the concert
yeah,
Yeah,
I
when we all go,
refuse.
right?
Yeah, I refuse
when
the
we all
shipping fee.
go.
When we all go, come on, guys. You know I have a list. I'm just like Butter's going, Adeno's going,
Really though. Like
D's going, like Sour's going, everyone's going.
so like anniversary rise. Looking at how things are shaping out this year because we're already in February.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We have to know what the focus is for the concert, right? So I think album drop on their anniversary.
A
Oh wait,
full
we're
Well,
already in
album?
February. No, just
Simon
album
said you can't
announcement
even think
teaser.
about it. You can't even imagine what he's going to be putting out. And I'm like, what? What will you put out? Will they be in animal outfits? Will they be like, going somewhere? Like, what is going to happen that we cannot like even guess? What's going to? Are you going to? I'm just. Okay, I need to stop. Sorry.
Like, I mean, you'd think like a new album would hype up the world tour, right? Like,
I think
Oh
if they
man,
um,
did a full album, they would have had to have like the world tour be majority of the album, right?
that
yeah,
Like
would make sense,
it
right?
would make
Because
sense.
it's just like it's not. If you're doing a world tour, you need that. you need that song base. Oh my god, weren't we talking about a covers album? That would be amazing
Hmm.
if it was just like covers. I know like original songs great, but we went through some old like 90s, 2000s hip hop and R&B. Brother, you were there, right?
Yep.
That night. And we were like, "Oh, if Cocona sang this part. Oh, if Jurin sang this part, that would be awesome." Um just it everything would be awesome. I'm just so excited.
Those things are so hard to clear, though. Like the
Yeah.
politics of it all here, it's so hard for them. I think that's why they do those in the
Hmm.
YouTube sphere, where
Mhm.
they can get away with doing stuff like that. I love it. I loved the cadence of all their content drop last year, which is
Mhm.
why I'm feeling kind of like ho hum right now, because it's been so slow since the beginning of the year.
It's like a build
Um,
up. They're building up to something.
yeah, it always is. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I feel like it's like this cycle every year with K-pop. Like, after the holidays, there's a lull, and then all the groups have these spring bangers. Like, they come out in the spring, and they come out with all the bangers, and it's like, man, and then it just goes all the way nonstop till the end of summer.
I mean, I think we've had Winter Without You early December, but then we had Extra Go with XG. Some of their other content drop.
Hmm.
I feel like they are aiming for around their anniversary to drop something, because that would be based off cadence, like how they've dropped stuff and had something. February is a short month anyway, so
Yeah.
Hmm.
like,
And right now we can see that even though they are working, but in I think in January they had family over, right?
mhm.
Hmm.
Like cuz Cocona's blog post was talking about she had her parents over and they met up with Jurin's family, so they got a bit of a break, which I very much appreciate
Mhm.
management doing for them.
I do too.
Um yeah.
I think that you think that that has a lot to do with just like spending time with family during Lunar New Year. You
That
know,
and also I think like legally these girls need a break, right?
yeah,
They've been going full throttle last year. So and we've seen, even though I'm not like fully into the K-pop scene, we've heard of like K-pop groups burning out really badly.
Mhm.
One like
mm,
members going off on like mental health leave, which very like warranted. They should be doing that. I don't want that to happen to XG.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely, like it's happened to popular groups too. Like I think Twice has had a few members go on like hiatus for a bit. Right
Hmm.
now, like ITZY's got a member like out on hiatus too. So like
Yeah.
yeah,
there's a lot of like groups with like members just taking time to themselves right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I
I,
don't want to see, on stage. Some of these K-pop groups I've seen like videos where they're like fainting on stage
mhm.
or like just dropping, and I'm just like, how did you let your talent do that? How did you not take care of them like that? So I'm still very aware that these are very young girls, and yes, they're at the prime of their life, but I want them to be safe
To
while providing
be
us with entertainment.
to be fair though, I feel like when it comes to that K-pop slash like XG mindset, I feel like the way XG has been different, at least what from we've been shown, is that XG's members seem to take care of their bodies a lot more to the Western cadence than the K-pop like standards. I feel. Um,
Hope so. We did have talk in the OGA voice chat where some of us some of us were worried about Maya, especially when in Abu
the Heat,
Dhabi, like,
yeah.
yeah, the heat stroke
Oh,
thing,
the
which is no
Singapore,
joke.
Singapore.
Singapore, yeah. Oh,
hmm,
Singapore heat is the worst. So you have that, and I'm sure like management was like taking care of them, but that's worrisome.
Hmm.
I
I
think
mean,
we
they
just
they
worry.
all cared about her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she just wasn't prepared for that,
yeah.
like
I
that
mean,
kind of intensity.
I think
Yeah.
they also like realized it like in the behind the scenes. They're like, oh, it's actually really hot here right now. All right,
Mhm.
they all like did it, and they like do like half motions, like walk through it. Don't do
Mhm.
like anything full on, because like you're gonna overexert yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so real quick, we're going to take a quick break before we get to our next topic. All right, we're back. We're going to get started with the next topic, which is XG content. Since the last podcast episode, we've had X Ergo episode 5 come out, the last and final episode for that.
Mhm.
And then we have had the Japan showcase behind the scenes, which has been really fun to watch. Do you guys have any thoughts on X Ergo episode 5, the final episode?
Brother.
I enjoyed the whole episode. I like how Hinata really they stuck her with it. Made it look like she was having to go back home by herself. Spoilers
I
if
love
you
that
haven't watched it.
she was such a good sport about it too.
Yeah, she was like
Like,
whipped out her phone. I got this.
yeah, she's like,
She was gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call an Uber. That's how life works, right?
It's a taxi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They already did it once that in the series.
Yeah.
They did.
I have to say Maya was like, that's like the perfect example of lazy smart, where she's just like, yeah, I can do what you guys want, but I can also grab this taxi.
Yeah.
That
Um,
that episode was the one where they had like the poems, right? They like wrote the poems out.
Yeah, they put the acoustic poems on
Yeah.
mhm.
And then
Or
Jurin
like
Jurin had a
post.
really good one actually. Like hers was like
Mhm.
actually very good. When
It was very good, but I also liked Hinata's, so I was like down to like the two of them.
nice. Because they all voted for it, like who got the best one or something, right?
The staff.
Yeah. And then was this the same episode or was it the previous one where they had to do the squats? Like the prayer,
The bowing.
the bowing.
Right?
Oh, I think it
It's
was the same one.
It's the same
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
Because they did it at the beginning and they had to like do 108, was it?
And Harley's just like, sorry, Harvey. I don't know why. It's because
It's okay.
I
She's
love
the real
Harley
Harley.
Quinn also
There you go.
from Batman, so
Harvey, the
that's
real
why I
Harley.
associate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't no joke.
So yeah, Harvey's just like, is it done? How many have we done? And like the monk is like, do you see the beads in your plate? How many beads do you have left? And Harvey's like, oh.
Oh,
then
we're
when
really doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when they were like, when the monk was like, oh, but it's a very good like whole body exercise, and she was like, oh, yeah, and like she was like more focused on doing it afterwards.
Mhm.
This girl, man, cracking me up.
They also had the tea, right? Like the different teas afterwards. I'm actually curious to how those taste because I feel like not all of them could be good, right?
It depends on what you like about tea.
That's true. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah, like everybody has their own kind of. I feel like everybody has their own like
Mhm.
flavor of tea that they like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of them are a little bit more medicinal than others,
Mhm.
and they kind of taste
some of them more
funky.
bitter, some of them
Yeah.
darker. Like if you go to like I'm Chinese, so we go yumcha a lot, right? We go to dim sum, and it everybody likes their own type of tea. Like some like um pu'er cha or oolong, right?
Mhm.
Others like I don't know what it is in English, but it's tikunyam, and it's like a lighter green tea, right? And
Mhm.
some like gokfa, which is chrysanthemum tea,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
it's all really good. It depends on your taste, right? But some taste like dirt.
Yeah, they
that's
do.
that's that medicinal aspect of it.
You just sit there and smile and just remember it's good for you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you get more of an appreciation for it as you get older,
Yeah.
right? Because before I'd be like, I need my glass of like ice water at dim sum, but now I'm just like, give me my hot tea, and I am okay with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think overall the series was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was definitely like a enjoyable series to watch.
Mhm.
I personally think enjoyed Three Meals better for like the laid back vibes. Um,
Mhm.
overall. Just because like you got to see more of their personalities. This one had more like games and stuff. Like they had like more like games where they like lose and like have a punishment, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a question for the both of you. Which part of X or Go you did you remember the most and like stood out to you the most? The one that you liked the most or the one you didn't like the most? It could be either thing, like or dislike. Tell me.
You can go first.
Okay. It's kind of a funny moment for me, but I like when they were going to do the canoeing, and Jurin very decidedly was like, "Hinata,
Yes. I love that.
you're gonna be my partner, Harvey? No, 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 no. I'm getting Hinata."
That was like an immediate pick, eh? Where they're like, okay, we're gonna be partnered up, and Dream was like, Hinata. I want
Yep.
Hinata.
Yeah, I want Hinata.
And she said it twice, like Hinata, definitely Hinata.
So I mean that was like stuck out for me. I I think I don't know. I'm like I'm with you. I like seeing I like watching shows to see their their real sides come out. Their real personalities come out. It's cool to see them do games. But I also you know I think some of the other moments that I liked in there was just where they were hanging out at the house
Hmm.
or just in casual conversation in the car.
Yeah.
Um, even if they're just talking about I'm gonna sleep. Like sometimes you think it's funny because they always talk about so and so sleeping all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah.
you can see some of them are super sleep motivated, like
Yeah.
Lisa, where she's just like, which car do I pick? Is it the car that where I can't sleep? What does that like? Which car is that? Because I don't want to be in that car. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
um, and like to jump on that canoeing thing, like really, I wouldn't want Harvey in my in my canoe either. The poor producer, she's like trying to paddle. She's like, "Can you stop?" And Harvey's like, "Yeah, sorry." Right? And then she keeps trying. She's just like, "I'm helping." And they're like, "You're not helping. You're not helping at all." But I I liked the three meals, but X or Go, I felt like also showed their personality because I have a new appreciation of Harvey actually. Before I was just like, yeah, she's like it's Harvey, right? But now I'm just like, yo, Harvey's like kind of quirky and like is hilarious in her own right. Like she's like just so funny without meaning to be, especially during like when they had to put the headphones on and they had to
Oh
guess the
yeah, yeah.
word.
Oh,
She's just saying whatever she wants. Like she's excitable, but like she's getting it wrong, and everyone's like, "Oh, girl, like
I
you
think
almost got it."
both her and Cocona had more like visibility because like Cocona
mhm.
had she had a jump, the was it the bungee jump. um she did it like fearlessly, right?
Yeah,
And then Chisa was like a whole different experience, which was for whatever reason it was backwards in my head. Like I thought Chisa would be the one to jump like fearlessly, but
I
yeah,
thought
no,
so too.
yeah, because like there's the sports complex thing where like she jumped onto like a different thing and she did that too then. But this is, I guess, is like a whole different experience.
Yeah, everyone has their limits, I suppose, right? Like
Yeah,
she's like, nope,
no,
this is too high.
yeah,
no,
we
I
got a lot
kind
of
of
Cocona.
yeah, I kind of expected Kokona to be fearless because it's always like the weird events where she's just like, "Haha, let's do this." Like in
Mhm.
three meals when they had to reach into that box, she's just like squeezing that whatever's in there. She's like, "Haha, this is funny."
Hmm.
Or like during like nighttime walks, she's just like, I'm not afraid. So, but thing that surprised me about Kokona was during the zombie thing where she
Yeah,
was just wobbling like a baby.
she was like
Yep.
surprisingly one of the worst ones at that. I actually didn't expect that for some reason. Because
Yeah, I didn't expect it either.
Chisa was definitely like method acting, but um and then like Jiren would have gotten away with it if she didn't start laughing all the time. But
She's
I think
immediate
Cocona was
laughter.
definitely like you do bungee jumping, and then you're really bad at being a zombie.
Who was it? Was it Hinata that tapped her on the butt and then like she kind of almost fell?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh man.
And like when she started, I was like, "Oh, look at this adorable baby," because she's like, "Growl," right? And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's not a real like growl, girl.
I think overall most of the like actual things they did was like really good. I for whatever reason I just didn't like the X or go aspect of it. Where like they
Yeah,
got
those poor girls. Like,
yeah,
they're probably traumatized with their own music.
yeah, no. It's more so like I feel like it should have been done a different way because you can still like achieve the same thing, but I feel like the music popping up and then them having to choose something was probably my least favorite because I feel like you could still like break them up in the groups a different way.
I think by like episode 3, you could see it on their face when they hear the
Yeah,
music.
they're
It's
like,
like,
oh no, no,
"Ah,
no.
just let me enjoy this. It's supposed to be a trip."
Yeah, episode 4 and 5, they're like, we're gonna get an extra go. Like y'all be to be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like overall like it was enjoyable to watch, but like you could tell by the end they're like over the extra go aspect of it a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
did appreciate that they didn't have to sleep in a tent at night though,
oh yeah,
because
yeah.
it looked really cold. And I've done the I've done the sleeping in like the ice hotel before.
Hmm.
That ain't fun, man. They're like, "Oh, you'll be warm and cozy." Nah, you cold.
Yeah, I
So I
I
was very happy.
I appreciate that they also didn't force Juria and Maya to do the bungee jump. Cause
Yes.
when Cocona and Chisa volunteered and like the other two like sat there, I was like, oh, thank goodness, cause
Yeah.
Juria would have been like, I'm quitting.
She's
Maya
just
would have been
gonna
like,
try.
yeah,
And I feel like that would it is cruel and unusual punishment for Julia
yeah.
to push her off a high
She
place.
already pushes herself enough during like the amusement
Everything
park.
else, like,
Yeah,
all year long.
for
Yeah.
sure. No,
I love
it's
how Maya was like, "I can go, but today's not a good day." Like,
no.
Maya.
I mean, they've had so many losses in a row at that point. So like it made sense for her to like be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Oh man.
Ah, okay. So,
Uh Japan showcase behind the scenes. That was a pretty long one. It was like what, 35 minutes or so of content of them behind the scenes and like they've also had like XG days with the Japan showcase
Mhm.
come out recently as well. So both of those, really interesting, behind the scenes stuff. Like especially with the little cart going underneath the stage and like how they have to like, go there. I thought that was
Mhm.
mhm.
pretty cool and interesting. Y'all have any thoughts?
I think, just a lot more respect for everything that goes on, right? Just to get on. It's not just walking on stage and performing in front of everybody. They
Hmm.
put in a lot of work, and you could see it. I think that was like my biggest takeaway is just to be able to get there and to the point where they're on stage for the opening act. They already put it in a full day's worth of work, right? And then they put it on 2 shows. Like, and, like, you think about it, and it's like, they didn't just do 1, and it was like, "Good night." They had to
Two.
think about refuel, "Let me hydrate. I'm about to go back up." But they did it like nothing.
Hmm.
So, like, all the preparation was worth it,
Yeah.
Like, they looked so well prepared for everything, and it was just, like, really cool to watch, just the execution of everything.
Yeah. I really wish we got to see the second show online.
Mhm.
Because I think that's the one with the Risu birthday. Um, and then it was mostly like there weren't as many global fans at the second one. So I think they did change a few things up, but
I have a
mm,
question about that second. So in the behind the scenes, on the second one, they dropped the teaser for Winter Without You.
I'm not sure.
They were behind the
Yes.
stage, When they
Yes,
walked
they
off
did.
stage, they were all standing and looking at the monitor to see the crowd's reaction, and you heard "Winter Without You" in the background, and the crowd lit up.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes.
that.
How is it nobody in the West knew about that?
No, we knew, right?
I didn't
It
know.
happened, and there was like videos of it, because we had videos of the world tour. The
Yeah, the world
first
tour.
first concert, that was like
Mhm.
our reveal, where we were like, "Oh my God, world tour!" And that makes sense because this was the one that was live streamed, and like all these international fans would be able to access it also.
Mhm.
And the second one, um, yeah, there was
It
it
was
it
it was
was
more
when
J
they had,
Alphas.
yeah, and they had that clip where they're looking into the TV and it's their parents, right?
Hmm.
And that was their teaser for Winter Without You, which great, awesome. I was so happy we were getting new content.
Yeah. No, they definitely, because it was the recent birthday and then the Winter Without You teaser, and I think they might have had something else, but I forget. It was so long ago. We need more
Yeah.
content, XG. Like,
So I
We're
say
so
that we
starved.
know about the second concert only because like I don't quite remember.
yeah,
I just know that I know now, so I'm like, yeah, sure we know. So I could be wrong.
yeah. Everything's so long ago now. Feeling like it's
It's
like
been
By
500
the way,
years.
speaking of Winter Without You, am I the only one who still listens to it? Like,
I listened to
even
it.
if it's not
Yeah,
winter or
I do.
No, I
holiday?
listened to it. Listen, I put in SSSX tier. Okay, like
Yo,
Yeah.
whenever like I marry miss you guys, that's a song I listen to, and I miss you guys all the time. Oh, Harvey dropping these lines. I love it.
I love it. She
Yeah.
gets like those weirdly like cringy lines that she can pull
Yeah.
off. Like I love it.
Still a little snowy. And I'm like, girl, what are you singing about? Who wrote this for you?
And the first take, I think, was it when she has to like do like the oh man, I forget what it's called. She
Like
has to
the ad lib,
the
or
ad libs. But like maybe it was Shooting Star. She like has like an ad lib that she just like sneaks in. I don't think she had one there, but I think she like snuck it in or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just like making it up. It's from one of the songs. Like she definitely had like a part where like I think she filled in a little bit with something.
yeah, it wasn't until the first take that I realized how many of those ad libs were Hinata.
Yeah, she's
I
got a
was
lot.
like, wow, like can't really complain about line distribution when she's behind everyone, just
Hmm.
doing ad libs.
She's got the most
Uh-huh.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
XG.
Love it. And
um.
then that little right? And you're like, who is that? That little
That's
baby.
do that.
Mm.
Yeah. We're at that point of content where, obviously Extra Go has ended. We're getting a few of these like XG days trickling in every now and then. We're at a bit of a lull. We're still waiting for, real big content to come out. Possibly a new song, a comeback maybe, with hopefully a world tour date announcement. Um, so a lot of us are actually recycling back to old content. I've seen a
Mm.
few like reactors like go back through, watch some XG days. Watching the documentary finally, Pengu.
Finally. Sorry, I'm just like I'm not, you know, my thing about
Yeah,
watching young girls being yelled at. That's not my thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of people have been going back to it, and like, especially the second times through, like, even like I had BG on last episode. She was rewatching some of the music videos and reacting to them again months later. So like a
Mhm.
lot of reactors are kind of doing this thing where they're going back and they're kind of reminiscing a little bit. It's not even been a year and people are reminiscing about the good old days.
The good old days.
Um,
Well, sometimes you miss stuff. Like
yeah.
I don't know who it was in the chat one day where I was talking about in left right where it goes take you to the other side, everything we certified. that part where Maya does like the record scratch
The
move,
scratch, yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
They were like, "How come I never noticed this?" And I was like, "How come you never noticed this? That's a good question." that's
Yeah.
a
I
that's
always
a
noticed
prime.
it
Yeah, it's a prime Maya move,
because she
right?
does the.
Yeah.
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 So you got
Maya
that.
has all kinds of mannerisms that were like you could definitely tell she went to international school.
Hmm.
Yo, she got a place in my heart because of that. I'm just like, you're us.
Yeah, it just
When
trips me out. Like if I didn't know,
She's
like
in
I would think
ABC.
she's from California.
Yeah.
yeah,
She's in ABJ? ABC?
American born Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Um,
you get those, right? Like for Canada it's CBC, right? For Chinese, so would she be a CBJ? She has the same feel
mhm.
as these people where like even though like her Japanese is perfect, you can hear like the Western inflection in some of her phrases. And that one of the Abu Dhabi episode, the Abu Dhabi like XG days where there was just like a 1 second clip of her eating popcorn and she's like, "Yo, this is so good," in that tone of voice. I'm like,
Where
you
are you from?
who?
Who are you?
Where
Yeah, who are you, Maya? Right? Like, use that tone of voice more. That's like hilarious. She's like, "Yo, this is so good." I'm like,
what's funny is like I've noticed it ever since the HITC New York behind the scenes. Because when she goes HITTC is where it's at, I was like, this girl's already here. She's already
Yeah.
here. She grew up. She grew up in the West. She's Western.
yeah. But then
Like,
she'll switch back to the like, "I'm so happy to see
yeah.
you guys. You're all here," and I'm like, you're a
You
liar,
are a
Maya.
liar.
Talk to us in your real voice. Tell us how much we suck. Right?
Do you guys remember her birthday, like when she like had like her little thing at the end of her birthday episode, or like she days, or it was one of the vlogs or something, but she kept going on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you were born here, dude. You were born
Yeah, for sure. I was like, you are from here.
here. Oh man. All right. Next topic. We've got a lot of merch that came out recently. Some of us have bought it, not me. Bruddah, you bought the Season's Greetings,
Hmm.
both versions. Also, a lot of people's made to orders for the products to line have been shipped out, and people are starting to get those.
I just
Uh,
got my notification for that.
Oh,
nice.
congrats. Is that also sitting in Japan waiting for the world tour?
Ah, yes. I'm not paying $80 for this to be shipped to me. There's no way. That's insane. I left them there and I need those socks, but we had talked about the underwear that I want, the left right underwear, so I know which leg to put my
What? What?
I need to know what's left and right and which foot goes into which
Oh yeah,
hole
gotcha,
in that
gotcha,
underwear.
gotcha. I
Yeah.
see, I see. Um, so obviously, Bretta, you bought the Season's Greetings. You're saying that like we were talking earlier, and you were saying that like it's one of the best, deals for like products for like
It is.
for groups. Especially like the special edition, you get like a T-shirt, you get like a few extra items that
Mhm.
like normally you wouldn't get in the regular version. Um, bang for buck is like a huge thing in like K-pop, X-pop, whatever you want to call it. Do you feel like that's like, you know, XG products have been pretty bang for buck, or
I think so. I love like their packaging. I have this thing about packaging. I like their packaging. Their packaging is really good. It's simple, but it's thought out. Simon definitely has a brand that he's trying to build.
Mhm.
Those
Um,
VHS tape
yeah, the
style kind
whole
of
concept of the Season's Greetings
that was
itself,
great.
of like
I
the
The
have to
sticker
say.
box,
shoebox, yeah.
the VHS, like that hit home for me so well. Like I was so excited to get it. Even I don't know if you guys, well, you guys didn't get it, but there's a sticker that looks like a shoe sticker, like a
Mm.
a shoe label, with the size, but it has their birth dates and everything on it.
Oh.
Um, so the box is wrapped in plastic, the sticker's on top of the plastic, and you look at it, and the first thing you think is like, why did you put it on top of the plastic? You could actually take it off and put it on the box.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like all of them were removable. I actually just told Fanboy that on his stream the other night, and he was like, "What?" And he almost threw his away. um, so like I thought, like the whole just. I don't know if that was done intentionally. I think it was, but
It was
like
definitely
just to have like
intentional.
an extra something to do, like oh look what I discovered,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I always think season like if you're a fan that like saving for concerts or you don't want to spend a lot of money, the reason why I think season's greetings are good like value propositions is you get all members like a season's greetings will come with all the members cards. So if you're gonna put your money into one thing throughout the year, the season's greetings is actually really good. And then you get all like the photo book with all these photos that like, don't really pop out too often. They don't get across social media all the time. And then like the only other thing I tell people is like if you're not gonna buy an album and you're not gonna buy season's greetings, then think about buying a light stick.
Yeah.
Do something to support your team.
There you go.
We need
But
to figure out how we can get Bruddah on as a salesperson for XG product. Just like, let me tell you what you can buy. Like, you
yeah,
can't buy this, you can buy this. Support XG.
yeah.
To be fair, XG themselves have had like a video like showing what's in the both products, like the
Mhm.
special edition and the regular one, because they had like an unboxing streamer video for that, which pretty short, but like it was interesting to watch. It's definitely a very inorganic to an extent, but
Yeah, it was like kind of forced, but
yeah,
they had to go like I think a lot of groups do that, but they just go
yeah,
through the motions. Oh, look what's in it. It's the marketing video.
yeah.
You can't really get around it.
No, I mean you got some stuff out of the video, like you got the them not knowing what a VHS tape was.
Right.
Like, you got some
Like,
stuff.
Wow.
what's this?
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt my
It's-
feelings,
Yeah.
man. When they said that, I was like, that's. Am I old?
I was hoping
Yes,
that one of them
yes.
was gonna
The
say
answer is
Betamax.
yes. We're all
No.
old.
Yes. The answer is yes. Oh,
Maybe we're just well read and we know old tech.
Yeah, we just watch a lot of 80s movies, like 90s
Yeah.
movies, 2000s movies. Like
I don't still have a VHS player. What are you talking about?
um
Oh man.
so with Bruddah talking about like, you get all the photo cards, like obviously there's like a huge increase in people trying to buy photo cards and different like merch aftermarket nowadays. Like XG's definitely kind of blown up to the extent where like there is a market for it. It's both good and bad. Obviously it's good, so like if you're a late fan who's like just joining the game, you can still like find stuff. But then you also have to be careful not to get, absolutely ruined by like some of the prices that you're having to pay. Um, Ideally, like my opinion is that you support the group, and like when the products come out, you buy the products so that you directly support the group. But if you want to be a fan and want to show that your fandom off, like if you want to buy like, the joggers or like the hoodie or something like that, like obviously go out and do what you need to do. That's my personal opinion. Obviously everyone's gonna do what they want with their money. Like I'm not gonna, enforce anything here. But what are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, do you guys feel, aftermarket is a viable option for you, or do you feel like, you know, it's something to stay away from personally?
I think it's all within means and reason. Like,
Mhm.
if it's within your means if it brings you joy and it's within your means, by all do it. You know
Marie
what I mean?
Kondo.
Like, yeah.
Salesperson extraordinaire.
If I'm such an enabler, I'm so horrible. Don't ask me to buy it because I'll tell you if it brings you joy, buy it.
If it brings you joy, yes, definitely do it, right?
But I have limits myself. Like,
Those aren't hard limits.
there's
Those
things
aren't.
that No, there's things that I don't understand. Like, there are bigger groups whose cards sell for less.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's the thing.
and so this is 100% like demand driven. So,
Hmm.
Mhm.
like, part of me is like, well, if I stop buying the aftermarket cards, then I won't be jacking up the price on myself. But as long as I keep supporting that, people are gonna keep breaking the price.
I, I
Um,
I
It's a
think
vicious
it's
cycle.
twofold. I think it's twofold. I think because the other groups are bigger, there's more to go around. And so the
mhm.
demand itself isn't as high because if more people are selling, then the price can't go as high. Whereas with
Yeah.
XG, like obviously they sell like a decent amount, but not everyone's willing to part with that amount. So
Yeah.
like at the same time, like whatever you can get, like these photo cards get to these absurd prices, and especially if they're signed, like you're going up all the way up there. So yeah, it's definitely does it make you happy?
Mm. I'm gonna put it out in the universe. I hope someone who has an extra shooting star album who wants to sell it or just give it to me because I'm poor.
And
Please
if you
give it
don't
to
want to ship
me.
it to Canada, give it to me.
I'll pay for shipping. I'm just like that's the song that got like really really hooked me, especially since like right at the beginning we were singing about how like doing overtime, no days off, and we're like, oh, that's that line, that's that hard hitting line. So that song is what got me in, and I don't even need the PCs in it. I just want the album so I can put it up in my office at work like a freak. My managers come by already, had taken a look and was like, huh, this shrine that you put
did
up.
you did you know like the actual CD on the album? It not only has like the two songs on it, but it has the instrumental versions of both songs.
No.
I would
Yeah.
expect it.
Well, no, it has just the instrumental versions too. Like I didn't know that. Like I was looking up obviously for the game later on. I was looking up like Shooting Star and all
Hmm.
that, and it had track listing. It had like Shooting Star instrumental only, left right instrumental only, tracks 3 and 4. I didn't know that, and I was like, wow, that's actually really cool because a lot of people don't do that, especially if you want to do like karaoke. You have to get these like weird versions off the internet,
Hmm.
um, of like the tracks. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's good
I
to
like that
know.
you've looked for these weird versions on the internet, so you know that there are weird versions on the internet, Adeno.
Well, I had to do it for the game, so I
Okay, so
had to do some
what game
research.
is this? Are we segueing to a game?
Yeah, we can actually segue to the game. We'll take a quick break and then we'll start the game. All right, we're back. Last up for the podcast, we have our game. We have a special game. It's a Price is Right style game. Uh, no, please don't sue us. Price is Right. Uh, it's a styled game where like I've looked up a bunch of different merch options in the aftermarket. Um, what our guest and co-host will be doing is they will be guessing the actual price of the items that we're about to look at. I blurred out the price on the image. You guys will see it on the screens, whereas obviously our friends here will see them in Discord. So first up, oh, same thing applies. Price is Right rules. If you go over, you're out. It's so don't go over.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Yeah. So try to get as close as possible to it without going over. Um, and then you get a point if you the closest you are to it without going over. If both of you guys are over, we'll debate that then. If it makes a difference, we'll look into it. All right. So real quick, let me pull up Discord. Number one, first item. And if you guys want to tell us what it is a KCON XG photo card of Cocona, and it is signed. A signed
Mm.
photo card of Cocona. All
Is
right.
that the signed lucky draw?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
The only description is KCON XG photo. It doesn't even say Cocona anywhere on it unless you know her signature.
Mhm. Well,
So
you can recognize her
yeah,
face.
yeah, you can recognize her face,
Mhm.
but like the description itself doesn't say anything about her.
Hmm.
All right. So first up, who wants to go first?
Bruddah, as the guest.
As the guest.
I knew it. Uh, Signed, special event, lucky draw. That thing's gonna be like, I don't think it's really worth that much, but they're probably trying to sell it for 190.
190. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a B here and a P here. 190. Okay.
Are we talking about U.S. or Canadian?
Let's do US.
Okay.
Let's do US. The Canadian will be what, like a little bit off. Do we have to get our calculators out for Pengu?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
no,
just we
no.
just do
Okay.
I'll
USD.
work with the currency that everybody wants to work with.
Okay.
We're working with American, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You're
Yes.
saying, what did you say,
He
Bruddah?
said 190.
190? 220.
So Pengu is going 220. All right, you guys ready for the reveal?
Yes.
The actual price that this is up on Mercari is $200. Pengu went over. Bruddah
Yeah, I know,
wins. All right. I real quick look at the picture real quick. If you like click on it. Okay, maybe
right?
not this one. Maybe not this one. For the next one, definitely look at it, and I want to see if you guys notice something. All right.
Okay.
So number 2, second picture. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. To be fair, as someone who does not collect PCs,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a disadvantage.
Yes. Me too. Cause like I would have just guessed and hoped I would have been right. All right, so this one is the XG Juria phone tab, which it's hard to get these nowadays. They like had them
Phone
out.
tab.
Yeah, phone tab. I know a few people in the Discord had these for a while. They were like trading them and whatnot, but you pretty much cannot get these anymore.
What
I
are
don't.
phone tabs?
It goes
Uh,
on the back of your cell phone if you have
yeah,
a clear case.
yeah. So if you have like a clear
Ah,
case, it
okay.
goes like right here.
Hmm. Okay,
All right. So Pengu, do you want to go first this time?
sure.
Here.
I'm gonna go with uh geez. What am I going to go with? Let's go with 140.
140. Interesting. All right. Brother.
I'm trying to look at the blurring.
That thing's $10.
$10. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you want to know how much it really is?
Yes.
sure.
It is $13.
I'm so over.
When you said 140, I was like, whoa.
I'm just going high. I believe.
You believe? I wish.
I
Uh,
I
believe.
wish.
so have you noticed anything about this picture, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Wait, is it weird?
Yeah, it's something
Is it
weird. It's not the picture itself, to be honest. It's the fact that it's under SM Entertainment instead of
Oh,
yeah. It's
oh,
under it's a
I could tell you that's algorithm.
yeah, for sure
Yeah.
algorithm.
When you list your stuff, it'll suggest.
Mm, I see, I see.
That's funny. SM Entertainment.
All right.
That's okay. Make everyone aware.
All right, number 3. Now this one's going to be a doozy. Ready? This is the full-on XG photo card set. Someone's got their tag in the middle so that you know it's real. And not sold yet. This one has BTS in their little
Nice.
navigation thing. Not SM Entertainment, but BTS. It's all 7 photo cards from Puppet Show. It just says photo card set. XG photo card set. All right, Bruddah, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think. All 7
Yeah, all
from Puppet
7.
Show.
Yes.
Okay, that's like they probably want like $300.
300.
Yeah.
All right. Pengu.
I'm gonna go real high again, aren't I?
Okay.
600.
You're going for
You could-
600.
Yeah, you could be right. Like it's getting harder and harder to find a full set.
All right,
The
you guys
fact that
ready?
you
Mhm.
know more about cards than me already puts me at a huge disadvantage, but I am okay being wrong.
Okay. So this one is currently being sold at $750.
Whoa.
Yay! Finally, I won
Whoa.
one.
And
I
what's
have
funny
faith.
is I don't know if you can see it, but they crossed the price out of like the what it actually they want. It's like $800 something for it.
And it's like 15% off or something.
Yeah, it was some weird, and I think they also have a shipping charge. So
Wow.
I don't know. I have to let me double check.
For $800. Graded too.
They're not even signed.
Yeah,
I
they're not even
know.
signed.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
Alright.
the card inflation for XG is so crazy.
Here's the original picture. Let's see. Yeah, 750 with $399 shipping, and it's 800 actual.
For the record, I would not pay $750 for that, but just wow.
Yeah, it's inflated. All right, next up, number 4. It's XG Hinata Shooting Star photo card. Yeah, also under BTS.
Brother has his eyes closed. He's just like, I can't.
This is one of the cards I look for. So
So
if I
he
get
already
this
knows.
wrong, no, I'm trying to figure out because the Japanese market and the U.S. market's different.
All right, this one, Pengu should be going first.
Go first, Manga.
200.
200. All right. All right, Bruddah.
This is $80.
80. Interesting.
Yeah.
Why 80? You're looking for this one. You said it's rare.
It's not rare. It just hasn't come down to the
price
point where I
that
would
you
yeah.
want.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm always looking at this one. There's a lot of fakes out there. Beware, people. You could tell
Yeah.
by the peace sign on the top right. It's blown up if it's fake.
Oh, there you go. Some advice. All right. This XG Hinata Shooting Star photo card is $98. So Bretta wins
Boo!
again. Bretta wins again.
It's my bias.
I'm never going to get the right price because I'm always gonna be like, it's $200.
You're gonna be that much richer, Pengu. You're gonna be that much richer.
All right. This next one, the last one, final one. All right. This one's already been sold. Someone's already bought this. I'm gonna post it.
Did I buy it?
If my goodness, if you could get this right, I'm honestly what I'm about to post. People want these really bad right now, and honestly, I feel like this is
I have an idea.
Let me see.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Shooting Star?
Mm-hmm.
Sealed.
Oh,
So they have everything.
man.
Okay, Bretta first, right?
Yeah, Bretta first.
When did this sell?
Yeah, I don't know. It was already like sold.
7/31/23. Oof.
Yeah.
Could have been anything. Literally.
This one's actually under Avex, which is interesting. No BTS,
That is really
no
interesting.
SM, no SM Entertainment under Avex.
Wow, that is really interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. They probably want 400.
400. Okay.
Well, it's sealed, right? There's
Yes.
like so all content.
Both of them are sealed, and all content inside?
They want 500.
500. Okay, so you're going 500.
Yeah.
All right. Pengu.
550.
550.
Penny dirty. That's why she's
Interesting.
Pengu with the gun.
Yes.
To
I
be
was
fair,
gonna go much higher, but now I remember I should. It's always
technically, Bruddah's already won because he's gotten 3
yeah.
of them. But
I'm like I've already lost. I can say
yeah,
whatever I want.
the actual price for both sealed albums is
700.
was $600 when they bought
Ooh,
this.
yay! I win.
Yeah, so you won that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Finally.
which it's funny because if you try to sell this now, it would be way higher than
Way high.
way higher.
Way
This
high.
person is
Dang.
so lucky that they got it like back then. And honestly, like it could be someone in a Discord. I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone from a Discord who got it.
I'm just gonna throw it out there again. That if someone has a Shooting Star album and it's open,
Mhm.
I would take it. You can
I will
take
take
the
it too.
picture card.
I'll
like,
take it too.
Yeah,
I'll
we're
take
all
it too.
like looking for it.
I
I don't need.
actually
I don't need the
Ah,
photo card. Just
want
give
the
me the album.
CD. I actually want the
Mhm.
CD
yes,
because the
I want the
instrumentals.
album. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so that'll do it for this episode. Bruddah, it's been a joy to have you on as a guest.
Mhm. Thank
Do
you.
you have any final thoughts or anything you want to plug for us?
I don't really have anything to plug. I'm kind of on social media. If you want to catch me on Twitter, it's Bruddah_Joe. I really don't have anything to say. I'd like your stuff if you follow me, and I follow you back. That's about it. Yeah, really, it was fun. It was fun joining you guys. Thanks for having me. If you ever
Thank
want to
you.
pass by, if you ever want to just talk K-pop in general, I'm open to it. I'm usually hanging out on one of the usual suspects on OG Alpha's Discord, so you will find me in there.
Cool. Pengu, you've returned as a co-host. How was it this time
Return.
around?
Good. I'm glad you let me back. Probably like never again after the first time. You're like, okay, maybe again.
Maybe again.
Maybe again.
We
As
need
long as you keep it
we need
chill.
to replace your picture with like an actual penguin like dancing around.
Yeah, we need to figure
Yeah.
it out where like every time I talk it dances around or it does the thing that yours does.
Like a
Uh
VTuber.
Can we
yeah.
get Pengu wearing like the left-right outfit?
Oh, there you go.
Left, right outfit. Everything's left, right, just so I know which hand to put my sleeve into. Yeah, you can find me. I don't have much socials, but you can always find me at OGA. I'm usually on pretty late at night in the voice chat in general, listening to random K-pop that Brother puts on. Um, and putting up a lot of XG stuff and having like thoughts about XG and talking about it and just like why am I so obsessed with this group? Here I am, right?
A lot of people ask themselves.
Right?
Yeah,
So we're the usual
so hard to
suspects
explain.
will be there. You can find us on OG Alphas. Like, come have a chat. We're all friendly people. I said it last time I was here. I'm hoping for more international alphas to show up. Like, I'm really looking forward to meeting like Chinese alpha, or
Hmm.
like I hope more J alphas come on. But I know like sometimes having just a screen of like language that may not be your first language to read through is like a hassle.
Hmm.
But you can always talk to us in the voice chat.
For sure. Well, it's been a pleasure, both Pengu, Bruddah, having you guys on. If you want to follow Alphas on Deck, join us on Discord as well. We have our own Discord. I'll put it in the description. Um, and also, OGA Discord is a good one. There's also the Reddit XCalX Discord that is also popping at times. So, whatever Alphas community you want to be part of, if there's like a local community near you, make sure you take part of it. I think that's probably one of the best parts of being an Alphas is like everyone's pretty welcoming. With that said, that'll do it for this episode. See you guys next time.
Peace out.
Peace out.